When I say 90s style racing game, what do you think of? Maybe you think of the pixelated scenery. Maybe you think of the low poly sports cars. Or maybe you think of that unmistakable mix of high energy synth music mixed with bit crushed sound effects. If a game were to perfectly encapsulate all of that today, it would be incredible, right? Well, one game almost did, with one of the best soundtracks to hit the indie scene in years. This is a story of Drift Stage, the best racing game that will never be finished. The story starts with a 37-year-old Florida man named Chase Pettit. When Pettit would have free time away from doing, quote, boring government contract type jobs, he would develop a passion project named Drift Stage. Over time, he would post progress of this game to the social media app Twitter. This would eventually attract the attention of a Pennsylvania-based artist named Charles Blanchard, who found Pettit by an animated GIF of a racing game engine he was working on. Now, why this GIF caught his attention was that Pettit was using Blanchard's old pixel art models of cars that he posted online when he was 19. And it just so happened that at the time of Blanchard seeing this tweet, he was already working on updating all of the older models. So he thought that Pettit and him could work together to make something special, and that's exactly what they did. After some time of Pettit and Blanchard working together, the Hollywood-based musician Hugh Myron just happened to stumble upon another GIF of Drift Stage, but on Tumblr. Upon seeing this, Myron would, quote, beg the two to let them do the music. And with all three on board, the company's Super Systems Softworks was made.
In February 2015, the official Kickstarter campaign for Drift Stage was launched. With an initial goal of $30,000, the team at Super Systems Softworks were shocked when their goal was seemingly instantly surpassed as 2,650 donors raised a total of over $57,000, enough for 2 years of development. The success of the Kickstarter can be attributed to the teaser trailer of the game that was released in 2014, which amassed a huge amount of viewership soon after its release and currently sits at over 150,000 views. The sleek graphics, retro music, and addictive gameplay of cars drifting entranced thousands of gamers, all of whom wanted to try out the new yet nostalgic game. All of the anticipation surrounding the game, along with the funding procured, allowed for the release of Drift Stage version 0.1.1, an early version of the game that featured a single time trial event where players could race against computer-controlled cars and aim for their personal best time. In 2015, Drift Stage version 0.1.2 was released. From the official Drift Stage website, this version of the game is described as having a focus on fast, competitive play. This streamlined and polished build never saw widespread use due to minor bugs and development-oriented features such as cinematic camera controls used in making the game's first promotional videos. Drift Stage's renown grew at Minecon 2016, a major gaming convention in September where over 12,000 attendees watched the creators play a live demo of the game. With excitement for the game at an all-time high, Pettit, Blanchard, and Myron were feeling very good about releasing the game during the anticipated release window of December 2016. Additionally, after showing off the demo of the game to Minecon spectators, Super System Softworks released version 0.4.6 exclusively to Kickstarter and Humble Bundle backers. Humble Bundle being a digital storefront where gamers could purchase early versions of the game. Post-Minecon, Super System Softworks and DriftStage had a number of articles written about them and interviews conducted in order to continue to build hype for the game. Behind the scenes, though, a much more troubling reality was brewing. Long after the first ever trailer for DriftStage was released in 2014, Charles Blanchard released a statement to the few fans of the game that were still waiting for news of its release in 2024. Blanchard wrote that Chase Pettit began to behave erratically after the first year of development. He became very controlling and arrogant, not taking any direction or criticism, and would disappear for months, leaving release goals and milestones missed. What follows is a story of arrogance, ego, and destruction, leaving Super System Softworks essentially disbanded and DriftStage seemingly never to be released.
Have you ever been late to class like this man? Well, do we got a solution for you? Introducing the Hover One. With this electric scooter, you will never be late to classes with up to 15 miles an hour of pure speed.
I'm late to class!
With all this speed, you'll need to stop, and with the nice disc brakes, you'll be able to stop very quickly. If you can't stop on your way to class, there's a bell, so people will get out of your way. Even your late classes will be a breeze. With the built-in spotlight, you'll be able to see right in the dark with no problem.
This thing's even got crazy light power on it. I'll make myself blind from this fucking.
Stairs for the Hover One are no problem as well. In just 1, 2, 3, and it's ready to carry. And if you don't need to rush to class, we have a baby mode. With the speed limited to 10 miles per hour, it's a nice cruising speed for cowards.
This is full throttle. Oh my god, alright.
The Hover One also has a cruise control. With 2 quick taps of the throttle, you'll be cruising hands-free.
Oh.
Charging the Hover One is just like charging a laptop. Just don't touch the brake. After seeing all these awesome features of the Hover One, just listen to the satisfied customer.
When I'm late to class and I'm in a pickle, this thing always gets me out of my pickle. It gets me to class really fast, and it never lets me down. So, Hoover One, Doover One.
If you're looking to buy a Hover One now, go to wish.com right now, or call 1-800-266-0172 to place your order. The Hover One is very affordable, with 24 easy payments of $19.99. Going back to the statement from July 2024, Chase Pettit began acting erratically a year after development started in 2016. He pretty much disappeared from programming for several months at a time. When he restarted, Pettit would give vague, obscure excuses for where he had been and what he'd been doing. When he was proactive, he would develop features that were overproduced and unnecessarily complicated for the game, such as decal editing and having an online mode. Pettit's approach continued to be problematic until he would stop development altogether in 2019. With so many release windows missed, the entire game would be, quote, delayed indefinitely, leaving the Kickstarter frozen and the game's backers confused and upset. In the background, a lawyer was also being spoken to with the intent of Blanchard to hire a new programmer, hopefully finishing what was started. With the community rightfully outraged, Pettit went to Twitter to write these statements explaining that he was sorry and wasn't in the right state of mind while he was developing the game. And with that, the ownership of DriftStage was stuck in a legal battle between Blanchard, Pettit, and Myron. Until, after 5 long years of being stuck in limbo, Drift Stage's ownership, as well as its latest version, were transferred to Charles Blanchard. And with help from his lawyers, he was able to release this version on Steam for everyone to play. And with that, I'll let the game speak for itself.